We will talk about instructional design for inclusive learning in this video, and then learning support, and then learning environments in another two videos. Neuroscience tells us that our brains have three broad networks, one for recognition, one for skills and strategies, and one for caring and prioritizing. Meanwhile, with or without disabilities, each learner has their own background, strengths, needs, and interests. Every student has their own way to learn. UDL, Universal Design for Learning, is a framework for designing a curriculum that minimizes barriers and maximizes learning for all students based on scientific insights into how humans learn. The core value of UDL is to provide various ways of acquiring information and knowledge, demonstrating what they know and motivating them to learn. There are books, papers, and virtual training courses talking about UDL. Center for Applied Special Technology in the US designed a UDL guidelines for the implementation of UDL. The guideline offers a set of concrete suggestions that can be applied to any discipline to ensure all learners can access and participate in learning opportunities. We will go through some tips in this video. And you can also go to check the website for research evidence used for developing the guideline. Okay, let's talk about the guideline. After determining the learning goal and identifying learning barriers, we can use the suggestions in the guideline to develop the course. As mentioned before, it is essential to provide flexibility for students to learn a course. This can be achieved through multiple means of representation, engagement, as well as action and expression. Learners differ in the way that they perceive and comprehend information that is presented to them. The first step is to increase the perceptual clarity of information for a wide range of learners, including learners with visible disabilities or learning disabilities. With some settings, the courseware can allow learners to adjust the size and color of the text, images, graphs by themselves. To ensure images are accessible to screen reader users, we need to provide affirmative text for all images. We need to clarify vocabulary, symbols, and structure on text and videos and promote understanding across languages. Video is a common medium for teaching and learning too. A common video player also supports learners to adjust the volume or rate of the video. We can also offer some synchronous sections and some asynchronous videos. A common good practice is to provide subtitles. There is some typical and free auto-transcript surveys. We will discuss this at the end of this video. To support learners gather and organize information, we can highlight or emphasize key elements, use multiple examples and non-examples to emphasize critical features, use cues on prompts to draw attention to essential features. To explain abstract concepts to students, we can bridge concepts with relevant analogies, define domain-specific vocabulary using both domain-specific and common terms. We may also use concept maps for organizing contents. Learners use different ways to navigate the courseware and participate in learning activities. Meanwhile, we should provide various ways for physically or virtually interacting with materials and peers by hand, voice, or assistive device. For example, courseware should support alternative keyboards. For well-designed courseware, we can even embed an inbuilt screen reader to read the content. Fluency is also built through many opportunities of practice. In order to design a student-relevant curriculum, we can ask students to be involved in the design of classroom activities and assessments. Teachers can explain the work clearly such that students can estimate the effort needed in advance. Teachers can provide students prompting questions and checklists to guide self-learning. Learners engage differently. For example, some learners may like to work alone, while others prefer to work with their peers. Therefore, we will provide alternative ways to recruit learner interest. We can offer chances in how that objective can be reached, ensure students are learning something relevant to them. We need to make learners believe that they own and value their learning. we can also provide challenges with support at the same time to students for completing their tasks. Meanwhile, we should also stimulate peer cooperation, provide fluent, timely, and specific feedback. We should also provide prompts, reminders, guides, rubrics, checklists to support learners focusing on learning tasks. Besides learning design, there are also some technical considerations for designing accessible learning contents. World Wide Web Consortium publishes a set of web content accessibility guidelines. In 2018, they published the 2.1 version. The core values are perceivable, that is, users must be able to perceive the information being presented. Operable, that is, the interface cannot require interaction that a user cannot perform. Understandable, that is, the content or operation cannot be beyond user understanding. Robust, that is, even when technology is involved, the content should remain accessible. Therefore, you need to work with developers to ensure the content is technically accessible by anybody or by any device. Here, I would like to talk about two technical things. The first thing is about color contrast. In WCAG, contrast is a measure of the difference in perceived luminance or brightness between two colors. To support learners to see and understand all content, we should ensure content should have sufficient contrast. The example on the left in the video is a good example with blue text and white color. The example on the right has a lower color contrast, so we can hardly see the pale gray text on a white background. So we need to change either the background color or the text color, or we need to ensure you only use large text only. The second thing is the auto captioning of your instructional videos. Instructional videos with captions support many learners, such as deaf or hard of hearing learners, learners who are not proficient in English, learners who learned the course during the transit. They will all find the video with captions useful. There are 3 automatic captioning services. For example, you can upload to YouTube as a private video. The tool will generate a script with timing for your photo editing. Live stream surveys such as Zoom and cloud script editing surveys like Descript also provide inbuilt automatic captioning services. Through this video, hope you can understand more how to design course materials for students with special educational needs.